Hi, is anyone else on right now?
I'm on, Mandy.
Oh, hey, Mandy, it's Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Wanted to make sure I got on here early to make sure it works. This is a first for me.
Yeah, me too. It looks like we have, let's see, well, obviously Ernesto, Monica's on, Ray's on.
Patrick and Nick are on.
I'm on. I'm just because it hasn't started walking around, but
Oh, so are you self-quarantining at the moment?
I am self-quarantining until the 29th is 15 days, the 28th. So
I was gonna ask what day you were on.
yeah, I arrived back last Saturday. So
Well, welcome back.
But he's teleworking.
yeah, I'm teleworking.
Yeah.
So and I saw Chris was on.
Hey, Chris, if you're on, can you unmute yourself and we'll make sure we can hear you?
And Patrick, this is
Okay.
stream, so it's out on YouTube.
You guys there?
Yeah,
Hey,
there we
Chris.
go.
Sorry, I knew I could hear you, but I was on another call. I
Yeah,
apologize.
yeah. No problem. Yeah, you can put us back on mute if you need to do the other call or anything.
Thank you.
Just as a point of order, we are now live streaming on YouTube, even
Okay.
though we haven't officially started the meeting.
Okay, very good.
On the interweb. That's the good germs. Hang out the landfill. Kennedy CD. It's been sanitized. I'm gonna get the cheddar box. You what? It's like everybody's. I want to start the meeting in a minute. Dos.
There's 3 of our computers, and then everybody else is.
There's too much. Are we muted?
No.
No.
And for anyone who's watching this live stream via YouTube right now, we will be starting in 2 minutes, right at 4:30. And before we get started, I will use this time as a reminder that if anyone would like to submit questions, please do so at your earliest convenience or as early as possible. The mechanism to submit questions or comments is via an email address, which is comment@svswa.org. That's comment@svswa.org. That will go to the clerk of the board, which will be relayed to myself, and we will be addressing those comments and questions at the appropriate sections. Okay, I have 4:30 right now, so I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. My name is Robert Cullen, and I'm the president of the board. I will defer to staff for a moment. I can see that alternate vice president, Supervisor Lopez, is on the call right now. Do we have Vice President, City Council Member Gloria De La Rosa on the call?
She has not logged in yet.
Okay. Well, I am going to go ahead and start the meeting right now. Perhaps if a staff member can contact Gloria and see if she needs assistance, but I would like to go ahead and get started. I will use this as an opportunity for anyone who's watching this on the live stream on YouTube. If you do have comments or questions, you can submit those via email to comment@svswa.org. That's comment@svswa.org. One thing you'll notice as we do this meeting is that I will be taking some long pauses, both because there is a delay between the time that I speak and when you're hearing me speak. It's about a 30-second delay. And I also want to offer up an adequate amount of time to be able to email those comments and questions to that email address, which again is comment@svswa.org. And thank you all for bearing with us as we transition to this new system here under this wacky world that we live in right now. So at this point in time, I will go to general manager and department manager comments. As you guys do your comments, if you could please announce who you are so that all the listeners know who is speaking. We'll go ahead and start with general manager Patrick Matthews.
Yes, this is Patrick Matthews, General Manager. I want to thank everybody for participating in our electronic meeting today. I hope this is our first trial at this as our agency being new to this process. So please bear with us if there are any delays or hiccups. We'll do our best to try to get those resolved in a timely manner and move the meeting forward. My comments are fairly short here in the sense that today's meeting is primarily focused around our response planning and some of the efforts around the COVID-19 impacts to our community and specifically our agency, and then a short brief discussion on the status of our work with the City of Salinas regarding their potential threat to withdraw from the agency. So with that, I'll turn it over. I don't know if we have any general manager or manager comments online or.
No comments for me. This is Cesar Zuniga, Assistant General Manager.
Okay, Mandy, do you have any comments?
No, this is Mandy. I don't have any comments.
Okay, let's go to Brian Kennedy next.
Brian is not logged into the meeting.
Okay,
He's trying to. I am texting him. This is Mandy.
okay, I'll come back to him in a minute. And Ray Hendricks, do you have any comments?
Hi, this is Ray, and I have no comments. It's actually gonna be a weird EC because I'm not really gonna speak much.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna pause for a minute here. And I will come back if Brian has any questions or any comments, I should say, we can come back to him certainly. A reminder for anyone on the live stream, if you do want to submit a public comment, they would go to comment@svswa.org. We are on that agenda item right now, which is public comments. So I will pause for about 1 to 2 minutes. Have any emails come in thus far?
No.
No.
Okay. Are we able to see, well, I'll hold off on that question. I will go ahead and pause for 2 minutes. And if anyone has any comments for public comment, this would be for comments on items not on the agenda. Now would be the time to submit those at comment@svswa.org. And I will pause for a minute just in case there are any. Actually, now that I'm looking back at the agenda, I did skip over committee member comments. So let's go ahead. Let's do a couple things. I do see that Brian Kennedy has joined the call now. So Brian, if you can hear us and if you're able to speak, do you have any comments for us? And Brian, you can chime in if and when you get set up on, I see that you're on, but you may not be, your mic may not be turned on right now. Let's go ahead and go to committee member comments, and we'll go to Chris Lopez, Supervisor Lopez. Do you have any comments for us?
No comments, just thank you all for bearing with us in this brave new world that we have launched ourselves into. And we're just taking it day by day, but thank you for making the appropriate adjustments to staff to make this possible for us to get together and hold this meeting without violating any of the shelter in place orders from the county health officer. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I do want to take this as an opportunity, Supervisor Lopez, just to thank you for your leadership. I appreciate all the efforts that you have made. The fact that you've been, I'll use the word visible, but visible via Facebook, visible via TV and such, and the leadership that you've provided to us in this time of crises. I just want to extend thanks to you on behalf of, I represent King City, and I've heard a number of compliments, so I just want to pass that along to you. So thank you.
Thank you, President Cullen. I appreciate that.
Okay, I do see, it looks like, has Gloria joined the call now? Can anyone tell?
I see a number, but not a name. So
Yeah.
I don't see that she has joined.
Yeah. Can you tell, so I'm assuming that's her number. Can you, so Gloria, if you are on the line, we cannot hear you. In fact, I see that there's a little X on your phone. So perhaps you are on mute. There is a button on the bottom left where if you go to the bottom left.
Unmuted.
There we go. Now we can hear you. Okay.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to tell you, thank you, Chris. I overheard Rob, and yes, I want to thank the county. And yesterday I had I went out to the LSL area and passing out the flyer that you guys, implemented. All these. Well, anyways, that you implemented the I'm calling it an ordinance, and telling people that you need to abide by this. And a lot of them a lot of the businesses in LSL did put it on the door, Chris. So that was good. And I heard good things from King City that that you guys were really, going out to the community, Rob, your officers, and making sure that people were abiding. Because some of my businesses have businesses in the Alisal, and some of them have businesses like Dual, like in King City or Gonzales. So I just wanted to tell you that. Yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you for those comments. Okay, at this point in time, we will go to public comment. And have any public comments come in?
No.
Okay, so I think we've given that plenty of time. So let's go ahead and go to the consideration items. And Ernesto, if you could scroll the screen down so we can see those consideration items a little bit easier. That's perfect, thank you. So the first item that we have on the agenda is a resolution confirming the General Manager, Director of Emergency Services proclamation of existence of a local emergency. I will give a reminder for anyone on the live stream, if you do have any public comment on this item or item 2 and item 3, to please submit them as early as possible, as quickly as possible, by emailing comment@svswa.org. And at this point, we are receiving a report from our legal counsel, Roy Santos. So Roy, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, President Collin. This is Roy Santos, General Counsel. What we have before you to review is the...
Hey, Roy, can I interrupt you for a second? I can...
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Yeah, you are breaking up quite a bit there.
Can you hear me now?
No, and I wonder if it's perhaps your internet connection.
It might be. Can you hear better now?
Ooh.
No, that's pretty bad. It's really choppy, as if the internet connection is most likely slow and doesn't have enough bandwidth to have it clear.
You sound like Ethan, Roy.
What was that?
You
Roy,
sound
there
like
is an alternative call-in number. You can use your cell phone.
Okay, let me try that instead.
Okay.
Give me a quick minute. I'll come back into the meeting.
Okay, very good. Thank you. While we're waiting for Roy, I do want to go to Brian Kennedy. And Brian, if you can hear us, and I do see that you are on mute.
This is
And-
Mandy Brooks. I'm gonna report for Brian because he's texting me. He is on,
Okay,
and he is watching. His Zoom connection for the audio is not working.
okay. And did he have any comments then?
He did not have any comments.
Okay,
Thanks, Rob.
good. All right, well,
Looks like Roy's come back on.
okay. Oh, I see him now. And Roy, we see that you're on. We cannot yet hear you. Roy, if you are on and if you are speaking, we cannot hear you.
He-
Do we have you, Roy?
He's showing us connected, but no microphone.
Yeah, it's a process to try to switch to the phone, so he may be trying to find the actual call-in number.
I went ahead and texted him right now. Okay, Roy, now I can see that your phone is connected, but it is showing as mute.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
perfect.
It went to full screen, so I couldn't see the little mute button. So
Yeah, okay,
here we go.
good. Now that we're back on, now that you're back on, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, Roy.
Okay, sorry about that. The joys of internet in the age of hunkering down.
Yeah.
Thank you, President Colin, members of the exec committee staff and staff. What we have before you is a resolution that was signed by the general manager. And what this resolution does is it declares a state of emergency for the authority and empowers the general manager to make certain employment decisions, to optimize staffing, determine which employees are essential and non-essential, to mandate leave requirements, in order to comply with and be proactive towards the COVID-19 shelter-in-place requirements and the kind of ever-changing landscape that we have right now with this outbreak. This resolution is effective for 14 days until it is affirmed by the full board, which is the next. Oh wait, I'm getting sorry. I'm actually ahead of I got ahead of myself. So this item is the resolution. So this resolution, what it's designed to do is, as I said, Patrick, as the general manager, declared a state of emergency for the authority. And this resolution confirms that proclamation and would allow that proclamation to continue in effect until the emergency is over or until the board terminates the state of emergency. It's required in order to make that proclamation effective longer than the 14 days. And it's required in order so that Patrick can continue to make the necessary command decisions for the authority based on the ever-changing orders from the state and federal government.
Okay, very good. Is that the end of your report, Roy?
For that item, yes.
Yeah, okay. So before I go to committee discussion on this item, I will remind the public, anyone live streaming, if you do have any public comment or questions on this item, please submit those via email to comment@svswa.org. That's comment@svswa.org. And at this point, I'll open it up to committee discussion, and we'll start with Vice President Gloria De La Rosa. Do you have any discussion on this item?
Yes, I have a question. So I want to understand this completely. So we are not going to be closing or not giving any services, right?
No, what the proclamation does and the resolution is allows Patrick to designate individuals as essential so that they can continue to work during the shelter in place. So it allows him to better structure the authority during these trying times, and also it's necessary in order to give Patrick the power to send if somebody presents as ill or potentially has been in contact and exposed, to be able to have the authority to send those people home to effectively self-quarantine or seek treatment without going through the normal due process requirements required by a MOU.
But this is not, and I understand that, but this is not closing any services.
No.
Okay. I just want to make clear. Okay.
Very, very good. Gloria, any other comments or questions on this item?
No, just that one. I just want to make sure that we're going to continue to provide services.
Good. We'll go to alternate Vice President Chris Lopez. Any questions or comments on this item?
No questions. Ready to make the motion.
Okay. And I will add and reiterate, and we'll keep saying it till we're blue in the face, that operations remain in place, and we understand that the services and the operations that Salinas Valley Solid Waste Authority, Salinas Valley Recycles, is a vital service to the public, especially in a time period like this. So we remain open for business. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Have any public comment been submitted?
No.
Okay, I will wait for 1 minute because of the delay in the 30-second delay from the time I speak to when the live stream folks are hearing us, and to give them time to submit an email. So I will be silent for 1 minute and resume in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, that concludes our minute. Have any comments come in?
No.
Okay, at this point in time, I will entertain a motion to recommend approval to the full board on this item.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0, and we will go on to item 2, which is a proclamation of the existence of a local emergency within the Salinas Valley Solid Waste Authority COVID-19 coronavirus. And I'll turn it over to Roy Santos, our general counsel.
Thank you, President Cullen. This is Roy Santos, General Counsel again. And this item is being presented to the board for information only. And this is the proclamation of the state of emergency that Patrick signed for the authority. And then that will accompany the resolution that will go to the full board for consideration. So this proclamation, as I stated before, it invites Patrick with the authority to make the necessary administrative decisions and staffing decisions for the authority in lieu of the current shelter in place and state of emergencies declared by the state of California and the federal government.
Okay.
Good, thank you, Roy. And let's see, just a reminder, if anyone has any comments on this item, please submit them to comment@sbswa.org. And at this point in time, I'll open it up to board discussion, and we'll go ahead and start with Vice President Gloria de la Rosa, please.
I have none. Thank you.
Alternate Vice President Chris Lopez.
No comments.
Okay, and I have none. I will go ahead and pause for 1 minute for members of the public to submit a comment to comment@svswa.org. I'll be silent for 1 minute and resume in a minute. Okay, that concludes a minute. Have we had any comments come in?
No.
Okay, at this point in time, then this item is only is on for informational only, so there is no committee action needed. So we will go on to item number 3, which is an update on the City of Salinas 1-year notice of intent to withdraw from the joint power agreement with the Salinas Valley Solid Waste Authority. I will start off by saying that General Manager Patrick Matthews and I had a meeting scheduled. Boy, that was yesterday. Things are a whirlwind right now. We had a meeting scheduled yesterday to meet with the mayor of Salinas and the city manager for Salinas. That has now been rescheduled given the activities and events of this week. That has been rescheduled to Monday, April 13th. So we do not have a report on that meeting. We will report once that meeting occurs. So that's my portion of the update. But General Manager Patrick Matthews, do you have any update on this item?
No, that was going to be my same report back on. That is the only information we have at this point, and we're looking forward to that discussion in a few weeks and move forward.
Okay, thank you. At this time, if any members of the public from the live stream, if you have any comments on this item, please submit them via comment at svswa.org. And we'll go to board discussion right now. Vice President Gloria De La Rosa, do you have any comments on this item?
None.
Okay, and alternate Vice President Chris Lopez?
No comments.
Okay, and once again, we'll pause for 1 minute for any comments to be submitted at comment@svswa.org, and I will be silent for 1 minute. Okay, that concludes 1 minute. Have any public comments come in?
No.
Okay, and this item is on the agenda for provide input and direction. And at this point, as I've mentioned, we'll be meeting, Patrick Matthews and I will be meeting with the City of Salinas on April 13th. But this is also on as, again, provide input and direction. So Vice President Gloria De La Rosa, do you have any input and or direction on this item?
None.
And alternate Vice President Chris Lopez?
Look, just schedule it as soon as possible in terms of everybody's health being the priority. When those things can be accomplished, let's get it done and keep moving forward. I think our communities deserve answers.
Amen to that. So we will be going into closed session here. A couple things I'm going to read into the record here, the items that we will be reviewing in closed session. And if there are any public comments on these items before we go into closed session, please submit them to comment@svswa.org. The items that we'll be going into closed session on are, let me catch up here, on real property negotiations is the first item. The second item is consult with general counsel on the threat to public services and or facilities, consideration of tactical response plan consultation. And the third item is actually, I don't think, let me just clarify with General Manager Patrick Matthews. I believe the third item we are not going to be discussing in closed session. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so we just have those 2 items, real property negotiations, and then consult with general counsel on threat to public services and or facilities. And I will once again pause for 1 minute for people to submit comments to comment@svswa.org. At the conclusion of that minute, we will take comments if there are any. Then we will be going into closed session. after closed session, we will reconvene to open session. And if there's any action taken in closed session, we will report out. So I will start the clock for 1 minute. Please submit your comments to comment@svswa.org. Okay, that concludes the minute. Have we had any comments submitted via email?
No, we have not.
Okay, at this point in time, as a reminder, we will go into closed session where everyone will be removed from the meeting at the end of that. And now I apologize, I forgot exactly how this is going to work logistically wise. Once we reconvene to open session, hey, look at that, we have a nice fancy screen. There we go. In closed session, broadcast will resume once open session resumes. So for anyone who is live streaming, if you want to hang tight and understand, hear what we have, if anything, to report out of closed session, stay tuned. And at this time, we will go into closed session.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Brian.
All right, I fixed it. Turns out you have to be talking into the microphone in front of you.
Hello?
I think we're back in open session now.
We're back, right?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, you're back.
Okay. Rob?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. So we are back in open session, and I did hear that Gloria and Chris are on the line, and I can see
Mhm.
all of the participants on the line. Now that we're in open session, I will turn it over to Roy, and if you could report out on the action that we took in closed session, please.
Yes, Mr. President. This is Roy Santos, General Counsel, and reporting out from closed session. The executive committee approved granting Patrick the authority to go forward with creating an additional emergency leave bank of 80 hours to address COVID-19. The details of which will be provided by Patrick to the staff, and the vote to approve the motion was 3-0.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you for that, Roy. And I'm going to add in my role as board president, boy, it's difficult to put into words. I am so thankful for every employee of the authority. You guys have always gone above and beyond in your roles. You have proven that time and time again. And as we go into this period now related to the coronavirus, I know that there is a lot of uncertainty in the future, and please know that the authority board stands completely behind you, and we will take any and all measures to support you as we go through this tough time. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. And Caesar, if you could please pass that on to all of your staff. And I would like to give an opportunity for Vice President Gloria de la Rosa to make any comments should you choose.
Mhm. Well, yes, we appreciate everyone. We're going through difficult times, and the same thing, yeah. Thank you to all the employees, and thank you to you, Caesar, and all the administration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gloria. Alternate Vice President Chris Lopez.
Thank you, President Cullen. I echo all of your sentiments, and I want to make sure that staff knows that we're behind them 1,000%. This isn't something that anybody could have anticipated. It's something that has really changed the world that we're living in and has the potential to change
Right.
really our society. And so know that we understand that, and you're not in this alone. This agency is a family, and we know that from attending so many events and watching the way that you guys rally around each other. And we as your board are proud of the people that you've made this agency into. And so we're taking these steps today to support you no matter what comes here in the next coming weeks and month. But know that we're extremely we're proud of what you've done with this agency, and we're here to support you no matter what comes forward. And we want to make sure that you know that this board is standing behind you. And as we take these recommendations next to the full board in terms of some of the other steps we're going to take, we want you to know that it's all being done in order to make these coming challenges a little easier for you and your families. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all very much for the very kind words, and Caesar and I will relay those to all the staff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amen to that. God bless to all of you. And that is the last item on our agenda. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, and we stand adjourned at 6:03. Thank you all for attending, and take care.
Thank you.
You too. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.